Hey, yo, what's up, YouTube, man? It's your boy, Action Jackson, and in today's video, I'm going to be talking about how the Dallas Cowboys can still improve their roster even after free agency and after the NFL draft. So before we hop into the video, I would appreciate if you guys would like the video, subscribe if you're new, comment, and share my video with anyone who you think will enjoy my content, man. So hopping straight into it, no particular order and what the Dallas Cowboys needs are for me, but I'm going to go over them real quick, and they're going to be on the screen. It's going to be kicker. We still don't have a kicker. We let go of Brett Maher. We haven't re-signed anybody. And after our playoff loss against the Niners, we said that we're not going to re-sign him. We're going to need inside linebacker. We're going to need running back. I understand we signed Ronald Jones. We have Malik Davis. We have Tony Pollard. We do have Deuce Vaughn. We have Hunter Lupke, who all can potentially be in there and be in that rotation of backs. But I think if we can get one more veteran back, we'll be okay. Wide receiver, I understand that our top 4 or top 3 receivers set, with that being CeeDee Lamb, Brandon Cooks, and Michael Gallup. And I understand that 4th receiver could be Jalen Tolbert, but I don't know what's going to happen throughout training camp or anything like that. And yeah, that's about it. So I'm going to go over who's available still according to Spotrac. I'm going to go over the best player in each position during the free agency. And I'm still going to account for June 1st being also another avenue of free agency, because a lot of teams are going to either trade somebody. So if the Dallas Cowboys were in that market to get like another Brandon Cooks or Stephon Gilmore, like player veteran who's done something in the league that still has a little something left in the tank, they still can go out there and provide us some key snaps, or, you know, be a nice role player, or anything of that magnitude, or teams or players just flat out get cut for savings on the cap. So the first position that I want to go over is kicker. Right now the best 2 kickers in my opinion is Robbie Gould being the best, then Mason Crosby being the second best. Now right now I'm pretty sure the reason why kickers aren't getting signed right now is because kickers only need to go through that entire wave of that off-season training camp, mini camp. They don't need all that. They're possible, you know, all they do is kick. They show up and they kick. I understand that there's more to their job than just kicking. That's what we see. Same thing with the NFL players. All we see the NFL players dress up on Sundays, but we don't know the entire get up and makeup. Some of us do, some of us don't. For the ones who do, we know that it's more than just kicking. So for me, I like to go Robbie Gould. There's not stats really to go over with kickers. You know, Robbie Gould definitely is one of the best accurate kickers in the league. Sent the Niners to an NFC conference game. Won a playoff game. You know, he won playoff games in that 2021 season off the back of him either going up in the playoff game. I think he went up in they had a lead against the Rams in an NFC conference game in 2022. He's easily, for me, the best kicker in the league. And age doesn't matter for kickers. Kickers can play they can play forever as long as their legs can keep them upright, and also as long as they don't get the yips where they miss a couple of kicks here and there in special moments. Then once kickers start missing kicks, they're basically done. They're no longer great anymore, because what a kicker needs is confidence, and if a kicker doesn't have confidence, that's it for them, and they'll be out of the league real quick. So Robbie Gould, he's been really solid for the Niners, and I'll look for him to bring him in for Dallas. In free agency, they have Mason Crosby. We all know Mason Crosby won playoff games. He beat the Cowboys multitude of times off his right leg. And that's about it, really. We have Brett Maher, who's still available. You got Zane Gonzalez. For me, my next position of need for the Dallas Cowboys, even after the draft and everything like that, if you just look at our linebacker depth, we do have Micah Parsons, who's a hybrid. But most importantly, who will most likely play inside linebacker snaps for us will be Leighton Van Der Esch, Damone Clark, Jabril Cox, and then you got DeMarvin Overshown. But I don't know about Jabril Cox. Depending on his training camp, he might not make the roster. So we got to see what's up with him. But for me, inside linebacker is still somebody that we can need, because, Leighton Van Der Esch, he is going to give you those annual games where he misses 4 to 5 games. So if you're looking at it right now, for me, the best linebacker for me is Myles Jack. Now, I understand why people are saying Deion Jones, because he got drafted at LSU from Atlanta, And when Deion Jones was in his prime and he was playing underneath Dan Quinn. So I understand Deion Jones and the galore for him coming to Dallas. But for me, I would rather get Miles Jack. He had a really solid season for the Pittsburgh Steelers last season. Same thing with Deion Jones and even Zach Cunningham, if you guys consider him as well. They're all three of those guys are top 100 drafted players. Miles Jack was selected in the second round just to pick ahead before Jalen Smith back in the day. So I would love to get Miles Jack. Sidelines to sidelines, solid coverage linebacker, solid polished product. I would love to bring in Miles Jack. And I won't be mad with the Deion Jones as well, but I just want another linebacker, a solid linebacker that can fill in for like the Anthony Barr situation. I think we'll be okay. I won't be too mad also with a Zach Cunningham, but also you got to also keep in mind with the Dallas Cowboys when they're bringing in a guy like Deion Jones, a Miles Jack, or Zach Cunningham, that there are guys that are just going to come in on maybe a year, 2-year deals. Nothing too long term with these guys, just a year deal to get them past the playoffs and into the free agency / the draft. So, but for me, the best linebacker on the board for me would be Miles Jack that I would like to get, and second option for me will be Deion Jones. But once we head into June, a lot of teams will understand where players are at and everything of that nature. If they drafted a linebacker high, or they're going to understand that, hey, we still need to bring in veteran help, and we're not the only team looking for a linebacker. So if you're the Dallas Cowboys, you want to act on that pretty fast. Now, for me, my next position of need is running back, and I understand that as long as you have your front five solidified and they can run block pretty decently, and you got a running back who has some juice, that doesn't matter who your running back is. But for me, if you just want to bring in a Cam Body as a running back, bring him in for veteran leadership, you want to bring him in for a guy who's played in big games, I think we're able to do that. I think you want to bring in a guy like Leonard Fournette. I think a guy who was really solid for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers even last season and the year before that. He was very pivotal for them going to the Super Bowl, and even when they had a pretty good season in 2021 as well. He can catch out the backfield. He's solid like Zeke, where he's able to, be solid for you in pass protection when need be, when we do block our running back. And the reason why I'm not going to say Kareem Hunt is because of the off the field prior issues. He hasn't had any more off the field issues after that 2018 season. But just for him doing that incident, they don't want that in Dallas anymore. And I don't blame them. We don't want that. I wouldn't mind bringing in Kareem Hunt, but if the Dallas Cowboys want to bring him in, I understand. That they listed Ezekiel Elliott as a potential option, but I just don't want Ezekiel Elliott back. But, if it is a possibility that we do bring back Zeke, but just on a way cheaper deal, I think Dallas Cowboys do that. But he has to be on a cheaper deal in a less condensed role, more of that fullback situation, like I was saying before, after the week of the Niners lost, that he comes in on, goal to go situations. So 4th and short, 3rd and short, 2nd and short, goal line situations, foot line, 3, got 4 yards to go. Give the ball to Zeke, he'll be fine. But for me, the best running back that's available on the free agency market for me is Leonard Fournette. Second would be Kareem Hunt, but I don't think the Dallas Cowboys would do that. So therefore, it would be Ezekiel Elliott. And for me, that's pretty much it, really, for running back. Also, I see Kenyon Drake. That'd be solid. Marlon Mack. And that's it, really, for running backs. The running back market is dry as it can be. And also, there's not a whole lot of talent left on the board anyway. So I think the best option that you can go is Leonard Fournette, man. Last but not least, man, we're going to go over wide receiver. And for me, I feel like Dallas Cowboys should have at least drafted a wide receiver. But I understand why they didn't, because they have complete faith in Michael Gallup coming back, Jalen Tolbert having a way better second year. Then you have, CD and Brandon Cooks, who are solidified starters in the NFL. But I understand that's the Cowboys think. They have complete faith in them. But for me, I'm moving as if Jalen Tolbert can't run a route, can't separate in the league. And I'm also going to pretend that Michael Gallup is still playing on a bum knee in my opinion. So running backs, or not running backs, but wide receivers I am looking at right now on the roster or on free agency is I'm looking at Kenny Galladay. Kenny Galladay is 29 years old, man. He's been in the league for some time now. And I understand he did not look good at all in the Giants. I think he even scored a touchdown on that massive contract that the Giants gave him. But I just think also with receivers, Kenny Galladay, he's a mid receiver. He's not that great. Obviously, he needs a solid receiver to get him going. He's not one of those generational receivers where like it doesn't matter who the quarterback is, he still can get 1,000 yards no matter what, like how Brandon Cooks did. Same thing with DeAndre Hopkins when he had Brock Osweiler, Brian Hoyer when he had all those trash quarterbacks. There's a bunch of great receivers who can just make it work without a great quarterback. Kenny Galladay is somebody that he needs a solid quarterback. Look at what he did in Detroit with Matthew Stafford. They didn't do that well in Detroit, but Kenny Galladay was still able to make some plays here and there. So I think Kenny Galladay can play with a Dak Prescott. No, his separation isn't all that well, but I think Dallas Cowboys can use another guy, kind of like a Michael Gallup, where 50-50, throw the ball up. I understand that's not really Dak's game, but sometimes Dak will give you a chance depending on the situation and everything like that. We can go like that in that situation. N'Keal Harry, wide receiver. He was a first-round talent selected by the New England Patriots at Arizona State. And also with N'Keal Harry, I think he brings that Noah Brown, where he can give you that special teams aspect, and also he can be a physical wide receiver in the run game. And I think he can be a nice wide receiver 4, wide receiver 5 for you, depending on how the wide receiver room pans out for you. All I'm looking for is depth. I'm not looking for nothing too crazy. Just can he come in? Can he bring in? Can he be special in certain areas? Anything like that. Sammy Watkins has a little bit of speed left to him. He was solid in Green Bay. He was all right. He looked way better in Kansas City. But I think if you're looking at Sammy Watkins, same thing. Wide receiver 4, wide receiver 5, veteran leadership. Sammy Watkins has won the Super Bowl, so you can bring him in. He has Super Bowl veteran experience. Demarcus Robinson is solid for you. Hilton, I wouldn't be mad at bringing back a T.Y. Hilton. And that's it really for the wide receiver room, man. So, going over the list of needs of Dallas Cowboys for me, still need to address after the draft and free agency, the first part of free agency. You got kicker, I would go Robbie Gould. Inside linebacker, I would go Miles Jack or Deion Jones. I won't be mad at either or. Running back, I'm going Leonard Fournette. I won't be mad if they bring back Zeke, but it has to be on a reduced money, reduced contract, reduced role. Wide receiver, I'm looking at Kenny Galladay. I'm looking at Sammy Watkins, N'Keal Harry, or even a T.Y. Hilton. And that's about it for the video. Hope you guys have a nice day. Stay safe. Stay blessed. Bye.